Hello friends, this is Manish back again with another book review, and this time also it is a classic, Charterhouse of Parma, written by Stendhal and first published in 1839. Without further ado, let me give you my 3 reasons, the 3 features of this book that you should consider before picking it up, so that you know if you want to read it or not. So the number 1 feature is political intrigue. The story is set in an Italian court of a prince, where all sorts of intrigues go on. There are 2 political factions, and they are vying for superiority. They are scheming against each other. The prince is actively involved in conjuring up these various conflicts and weird scenarios, pitting one faction against another, one person against another. And there are twists and turns and suspense, and we get this feeling that's what's going to happen next. And there are too many political intrigues going on in that court. There are mistresses, beautiful women, power-hungry ministers and whatnot. And at times it does seem a little bit too much, but then come to think of it, isn't it how things are now? What we get to see or hear on the news, the politics of the world, it does get a bit tiring. But then reading this book, one realizes that it's always been like that. The second feature of this book is sex and power. So yes, there are these political intrigues that are going on, but the other driver of human action is the hunger for power and also sex. And in this book, we get to see a lot of it. In fact, maybe because of the times, the author conveyed the hunger for sex as love, but really it does boil down to the hunger for sex, right? So again, there are these intrigues going on, these love angles and triangles, and beautiful women who are able to manipulate powerful men into doing something that they want, and vice versa. The powerful men do things for these beautiful women and then get to have sex with them. And it goes on from the beginning till the end. The politics, the power and the sex and the games these people are playing start from the very beginning and go on till the very end. And there are so many twists and turns and mysteries and suspense that it does, in the end, get a bit overwhelming. But then I guess that was the intention of the author, to talk about how things are at the seat of power and what really goes on. And raise the curtain so everyone can see. The third feature, and this is quite personal, this is how I felt. The third feature is nihilism. Honestly, after reading this book, my feeling was, or even when I was reading it, let's say a few pages into the book, and the recurring thought or the question that I kept thinking about was, what's the point of all this? It did seem a little hedonistic. One ego against another. An insult that was really nothing makes people do crazy things. For vengeance, for love, for sex, for power. And what's the point of all this? And what does it lead to? And in the end, the answer that I got was, it leads to naught. Nothing really. And maybe that's where lies the genius of the author in this book. And that is why it is hailed as a classic, one of the best ever written. Because the author takes us to the seat of power and lays everything bare for us to see how futile and how ignorant or how petty these people who are beautiful, powerful, and control our lives can be. And also a lesson for us to not mirror it or not even, hope to get to where these people are at, because in the end, it doesn't really matter if this faction or that faction is in power, if it's the prince today and the princess tomorrow. It doesn't really matter. Life goes on. And therein lies the beauty of this book and the message that Stendhal is trying to give to us. And yeah, I did really enjoy reading it. So I do recommend it, of course. So guys, that was my spiel for The Charterhouse of Parma, written by Stendhal and published in 1839. Till next time.